Question number one, and this is from YouTube. What is the best dog kidney disease diet? I did mention that you should feed your dog low purine foods and low purine proteins. And as a generic rule of thumb, the problem with kidney disease diets and veterinary diets that comprise or that say that this food is specifically for renal failure or for dogs with kidney disease is that the ingredients are extremely vague. You will see animal fats, you will see meat and animal derivatives, and you will see a bunch of inflammatory ingredients. You will see wheat, barley, corn, soy, you will see rice and things that won't provide anything nutritional to the dog. So obviously there are a lot of different spectrums whenever it comes to kidney disease, from mild to acute, and you should always have the most amount of information as possible so that you can really sit down with someone and assess your dog's diet, and it is very important you do so. And by the way, if you can get a consultation, you can get a consultation from us. You can go to thepetquarter.co.uk, tab consultation, and we will be able to sit down with you or have a conversation and see what is going on. But anyway, as a generic rule of thumb, we want to stay away from things that are inflammatory and to stay away from things that are hard to digest. If you think about it, the kidneys have a very important role, and that role is to sieve. That role is to act as filters. And we need to enable our dog's kidneys to function better as they have been or as their current condition suggests. And my one tip for people is highly digestible protein, lots of moisture. It comes down to that, you know. We see a lot of marketing schemes. We see a lot of people who claim to have the solution whenever it comes to vet prescription diets, or they feed the dog whatever they home cook for the dog, and it is a tricky one. But as a generic rule of thumb, and this works for every single dog, whether you have an acute renal failure or whether you have something that can be managed, we want moisture in your dog's diet. At the end of the day, the more safe water that we can pass through those kidneys, the better that will be for your dog's kidneys. The better your dog will be able to cope with the food. What we do not want is heavily processed foods to pass down your dog's kidneys, because that's hard to digest. At the end of the day, your dog's organs are struggling to break down different foods. So by you providing something wet, like a wet food, a wet kibble, a semi-moist kibble, or fresh food, say raw dog food, that would be very, very beneficial. And then stay away from things that are very hard to digest. As a generic rule of thumb, I would stick to chicken, and I would stick to white meats that tend to be easier to digest. Yes, you can write ingredients and you can write different things that are low purine, and that is very, very beneficial. But for example, I would stay away from red meat. I would stay away from things like lamb. I would stay away from very oily fish like sardines, for example. I would stay away from those high purine foods, those foods that are hard to digest. Highly digestible protein and lots of water, whereby you are providing your dog with a diet that is rich in water and highly digestible protein. Stop giving the dog anything that's hard to digest, whether we are talking about gravy bones or dental sticks or anything that's hard to digest. We want our dog to have an easy life. We want to enable our dog to break down the food easily and accessibly. That's pretty good advice in my opinion. We have been given that advice to hundreds of pet parents over the years, and that does work, and it works a treat, and it's really good. So yes, dog kidney disease diet as a generic rule of thumb: highly digestible protein, increase the amount of moisture you give your dog, and your dog should have an easier life. Stay away from animal fats and meat and animal derivatives and inflammatory ingredients and inflammatory foods and foods that are hard to digest, and the dog should be okay. If you want to book a consultation, thepetquarter.co.uk/consultation. This came from TikTok. Thank you. I feed my dog a bit of yogurt every day. Yes, this is great. This is phenomenal. Probiotics, it's a live thing, you know. Yogurt is a live probiotic. It goes bad once it's opened, which means it's fresh. We like to give our dogs fresh things, or as many fresh things as possible, things that are not processed, and this is one of those things you can give your dog. You can give your dog a dollop of yogurt every single day, and your dog will thank you for it. You know, your dog will be very, very happy. You can spread it on licky mats, you can put it on your dog's food, you can do it as a dessert, as a little treat. But yes, yogurt, phenomenal for your dog's gut, phenomenal for your dog's coat, phenomenal for your dog. Make sure that yogurt is high quality. Don't give your dog low fat yogurt, for example, because that will be pumped up with sugar. We don't want any of that. We want full fat natural yogurt, Greek yogurt, that sort of thing. Phenomenal for dogs, absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal for you and phenomenal for the dog. It's fresh, it's a probiotic, it aids gut health. It's a wonderful treat. It's very cheap. Like, these things tend to be extremely cheap as well. Yogurt or eggs or the eggshells for our dogs. Phenomenal things that we can give our dogs, and these cost very, very little in the grand scheme of things. People spend so much money on supplements and things that don't really work or work on the margins, and they forget that they have a wide array of things in their cupboard or in their regular shopping list. They could give the dog for a lot cheaper than a lot of these supplements, and it's a lot better for them as well. So yeah, natural yogurt every day, why not? Absolutely. Hello, I am getting my first, these came through one of our inboxes, by the way, from info@thepetquarter.co.uk, and this gentleman is in Italy. Hello Italy, how beautiful. Hello, I'm getting my first puppy at the end of the month. She will be an 8-week-old golden retriever. What a puppy. Can you recommend the best dry dog food for my pup? Of course I can, and thank you so much for the question, and what a beautiful puppy. You know, getting a puppy is so exciting, and if you are seeking this sort of information when you receive your puppy, then you are off to the races, in my opinion. You have an unfair advantage, and your dog is going to have a much healthier life whenever it comes to their dog food and how the dog performs health-wise, because you want to know, you want to know, and you're seeking that information about dry dog food and about what the best dog food is for your dog. And this is something I get extremely excited about anytime I do consultations and people say or ask, what is the best this or what is the best that? And this is it. So you should always read the ingredients for everything you give your puppy. Stay away from highly processed foods. Stay away from anything processed, if possible, treats wise. stick to natural, wholesome things, and that is it. No wheat, no barley, no corn, no soy, no meat and animal derivatives, no wheat gluten, no weird ingredients, no, stay in line with what is biologically appropriate for your dog. No gravy bones, no sugar, none of these weird treats that people give their dogs. We want our dog to get the best nourishment possible. And in order for that nourishment to occur, we need to read the ingredients. And whenever you read ingredients, then you see, oh, this food is grain-free. But hold on, this food is 60% white potato and tapioca. It can't be that good because that's a heavy amount of filler. So I'm going to find another grain-free food, which is only maybe 20% carbohydrates, 20% pea starch and tapioca, and the rest of the bag is meat, and it's fresh meat maybe, and it's been cold pressed, and it seems like a good value for money, and it doesn't contain any sugar, and it doesn't contain any meat and animal derivatives, and it doesn't contain 60-70% tapioca or potato, even though that food says grain-free too. So by you reading labels and by you being able to allocate where your money, where your dollars go into the food, what your dollars are paying for, then you are going to have a very easy time finding the best dry dog food. We want to see things that are fresh chicken, fresh salmon, dried lamb, freshly processed kangaroo, that sort of thing. We want to see foods that have been gently dehydrated. So if we have a chicken and we pulverize that chicken and we cook it at 200 degrees for 4 hours, we are going to turn that chicken into powder. But if we take the same chicken and we cold press it and we gently cook it and we retain more of the nutrients and then we put that into a bag of dog food, then that's a complete different ball game. How is that brand of food cooking the food? How are they making sure that the most amount of nutrients get preserved? Those things are incredibly important, and they are incredibly important, and even more so if you have a puppy. If you have a puppy, you have the chance, you have the option, you have the privilege to be able to give your dog the best dog food possible with the decisions, with the information we preach on this channel, and your dog is going to be so much healthier than if we give the dog a cereal-based diet with cereal-based treats. Everything is heavily processed, then the chemicals come in, then the treatments come in, then the veterinary appointments come in, and that is a life of disaster. That's a life of dandruff and chewy teeth and horrible breath, and the coat is horrible, and diabetes and pancreatitis, and we want to avoid all that. We want to be conscious about what we are giving our dogs. So what is the best dry dog food for my pup? Yes, absolutely. Feed natural ingredients if you can. I will put a link to the best dry dog foods to buy. It's a UK based video. However, you can take the ingredients and you can take the modus operandi that I go into, that I delve into the video for you, and you can apply that if you are in Thailand or whether you are in the United States. So shout out to my US audience and to my Thai audience. So yes, another person says, and this is on YouTube by the way, read the ingredients of all your dog food. If the first ingredient is wheat, do not buy it. I couldn't agree more. Wheat is such a cheap filler. Wheat is such a convenient ingredient. It's such a popular ingredient whenever it comes to our food and whenever it comes to dog food. And manufacturers take the absolute mickey whenever it comes to wheat. They put it everywhere, and not just a little bit, they put a lot of it. So why would our dogs eat wheat or bread? If you look at a dog's mouth, if you look at a dog's stomach, they're not really designed to attack a field of wheat. They're more inclined to crushing meat and bone, if you really do look at your dog's mouth. So absolutely, if the first ingredient is wheat, don't buy it. And that is it, don't buy it. I completely agree. I want to make a public announcement, and that is that a dog is not just for Christmas. And this is extremely important for you to think about, and this is extremely important for you to watch. If you are thinking about gifting a dog or buying a dog, bear in mind that that is a lifelong commitment until the dog dies, and that tends to be between 10 and 15 years. Before you buy or get gifted a dog, you should ask yourself, does my lifestyle go with this dog's life? Am I going to be able to provide for this dog? Am I going to be able to 100% look after this dog and make this dog my priority in life? Your dog will give their whole life to you, so you have to be prepared for your dog to be an important part of your life. If you are not in a position where a dog is welcome into your life, I would highly recommend you do not buy or gift or go anywhere near a dog. Dogs are absolutely precious. Dogs are beautiful, and dogs are lifelong commitments. A dog's life is extremely important, has to be paid attention to. So before you do anything crazy, before you do anything of the spur of the moment, I want to share with you a couple things you can do. You can assess your life. Are you married? Are you not married? How long do you work? How often are you away? How many hours do you work? Where do you work? Who's going to be able to take care of the dog? Who's going to be able to train the dog? Have you got any previous experience with dogs? Do you know the breed? Do you know the breeder? Do you really know the breed? Or does your son or daughter want that particular dog? If your dog is not 100% aligned with you and your lifestyle and your family's lifestyle, the best thing for you to do is to get something else. Get a PlayStation or get anything but a dog. Make sure you check the breeder, make sure you check the breed, make sure you look inside and really do have a very serious conversation with yourself. Am I in a position where a dog can come into my life and I can add to my dog's life? We do not want to see any more dogs in shelters. We do not want to see any more dogs that are abused or overbred or used for the wrong reasons. A dog is not a weapon. A dog is not something you just buy spur of the moment. A dog is for life, and it should always be for life. You should always treat your dog with love, with passion, with compassion, and with admiration even, because they are going to devote and dedicate their whole life to you and your family. So before you do anything stupid this Christmas, remember, a dog is for life and not just for Christmas.